Hi English 1022 students, I'm here to give you a preview of Module 6. So I'll probably be in the weekly schedule, which you see on the screen now, and then also inside D2L to show you a few things. And hey, before I get started with all of it, just want to let you know that I'm feeling so much better, but last week was still sort of a weird week for me because I went back to work, but had some not so good day, still recovering from COVID, and so just wanted to let you know that I'll be getting caught up with some things pretty quickly. I just have had to rest a lot more than I thought I would during Module 5, so thanks for your patience as I get caught up with some things. All right, so let's talk about Module 6. Y'all, we are moving through Essay 2 pretty quickly. You know that Module 6 requires our second workshop, and then your essay is due at the end of the week. So I just want to shout out a couple of facts about the class and the syllabus, and a reminder about the grace period for all of the assignments. Y'all, we can't really make up the workshops like, you know, if you post your draft, if you're a writer for Module 2, for the second workshop, during Module 6, late, we can't do anything to help you with your draft. We're all going to kind of move on. So writers, you really need to post your drafts on time. If you're posting feedback to the workshop late, you'll still earn full points, but just want to make the point that you're not really working with the writers to give them feedback in the time frame that they need it. But you're still working on learning how to evaluate writing, which still has some payoff for you as a reader and a writer, even if you're not participating in the workshop during the week. So just a reminder that the workshop moves pretty quickly. Writers are posting their drafts by Tuesday the 27th, and you all have, that's your Thursday assignment deadline for the week, is posting comments to your one draft that you're assigned to. So all the instructions are here, and they're also in D2L. I am just recording inside 501, but the same thing is showing in 503, just with your specific names there. But you'll find that the workshop 2 will be available on Monday, and then all the instructions are there for what you need to do. And then please recall, you all, a couple of things. First of all, that I post individual threads for each team, right, for each group. So look for your name writers to be in all caps, and then readers, you're assigned to that particular person. So writers, if you could, I'm going to pretend I'm Leo for a minute, click on the thread that's assigned to you, and then once you're inside the thread, reply to the thread, and then you can post your attachment here, or you can copy and paste your draft inside here, and then we're looking for your strengths and weaknesses free write so that readers can give you some feedback based on your call for support through, you know, identifying what's strong and what needs some feedback or some ideas from your readers. Also a reminder, you all, and this is true in 503 as well, but if you go to content, and I'm already on this page, but you see if you scroll all the way kind of past all the modules to where the workshop information is and click there, you can see which workshop you're assigned to with the deadline for the drafts posted there for the writers. And then the workshop will happen the next 2 days after the workshop starts, when the drafts are posted by the writers. So y'all, you know, here you are, workshop 2 and 503, you can go to the same page and see who's assigned. In 503, there's quite a few writers. A lot of people signed up for Essay 2, so we have probably like 7 writers in section 503. So y'all, all the information about the workshop has been there since August 29th, so if you need to review that, make sure you do that so you know when you're scheduled to post your draft. If you're, you know, worried about when that is, your turn to be a writer, that kind of thing. All right, let me go back to the weekly schedule for Module 6. So y'all, I make a couple of notes here about checking the grade book for Module 5 grades, and I'm a little bit behind with reading essays, but I think I should be able to get them done by Tuesday. But I did put here, you know, just in case I need a few extra days, that I'll have them back to you by Thursday. The thing that you do have ready to go is check the gradebook right now for your journal for Module 5 and then your original file that you're using for Essay 2. I've read through it and I've given you some comments on your revision ideas from the journal. So basically I say, hey, thumbs up, thanks for giving me the journal, and then I go directly, after I read the journal, go directly to your file and read, and then give you some comments in that original file that you've uploaded. So pretty much you should just start your revisions, everyone. You came up with your ideas during Module 5, and you should just start revising right away. Start looking for new sources. And I had a couple of check-in meetings with students during Module 5, and some interesting questions came up like, do I have to stick with the original assignment? The answer is no, because I'm telling you, I mean, I've asked you in the journal for Module 5 what the assignment was, just so you can kind of try to remember it, and just so I have that context when I'm giving you comments. But I'm asking you to change a lot of things. And the two most important things are purpose and audience. I would say number 3 important thing is identifying your exigence, like your connection or your passion or the problem solution that you see kind of involved, or the call to action you want to communicate to readers. So, you know, because I'm asking you to redefine and revise your purpose and redefine and revise your audience, a lot of the essay can change. Yes, you have to add 2 new pages, but you can also cut stuff out that's not going to fit anymore, because you have a new purpose and you have a new audience. And that would even include sources. You know, when I had conversations with folks during Module 5, we talked about the sources. And if you find the sources that you had to use for the original assignment not to be applicable anymore, no longer important, significant, and you want to find new sources, then find new sources. And you have to have 3 new sources. So keep all of that in mind, you all. And the reason I'm talking about this in so much detail is that, you know, you want to check for the comments in the grade book early in the week so that you can start your revisions. And then if you still feel unsure about moving forward with your revisions, then definitely set up a check-in meeting during Module 6 so that you and I can talk about that. Your essay is due at the end of the week, even though there's the grace period deadline. So, you know, if you're not able to turn it in by October 2nd and you need the extra week to do that work, you have the grace period for Essay 2 as well. Just make sure you schedule a check-in meeting in enough time so you have time to do the work and the revision. So, more reading for Module 6, the same essays that I previewed in the Module 5 welcome video. Please pick one that you didn't read last week to keep new sentences, new paragraph structures, maybe even looking for tropes in different organizations, different writing genres or writing patterns that other writers have used. So make sure you're reading something, even if it has nothing to do with the topic you're writing about. That's actually really good because you're kind of just looking at how another writer has written things. A reminder that composition classes require an advanced kind of reading where you're looking at other writers' strategies or other writers' techniques. I like to call them writers' moves, right? Like these are fancy moves that we're trying to mimic or trying to start practicing in our own writing. So make sure you read another essay this week. Review the instructions for Essay 2 if you need to. You all, and there's not a lot of reading in the textbook this week. Just stopped to look at something that I saw in here. Sorry, I paused. Not a lot of reading in the textbook this week. I'm giving you some external handouts to give you some perspective on revision and writing process that the textbook covers, but it kind of covers it by chapter. You might remember there's sort of this writing guide or these yellow pages in the rhetorical analysis chapter. So since we're not using one of the chapters specifically, you might be looking at the chapter on arguments of fact or arguments of cause and effect or something like that, but we're not using it as a whole class. So just kind of use the textbook mostly to look up tropes and schemes. I did forget to add a video, so I'm just going to go ahead and add that here for day 2 because I'm thinking about it because I just kind of looked at it again. Watch the tropes and Schemes video. If I could spell, that would be good. It's just a typing thing, whatever. I watched it earlier today, and it's about 10 minutes, and I definitely go over asyntoton and polysyntoton and a couple of others, new tropes that I didn't talk about earlier in this semester. So that's in module 6. Cool. So watch that as well. And then, so, just kind of reviewing what I already said, well, a little bit of outside of the textbook reading, I really want to call attention to these. There are 2 files. One is called Chapter 2, one is called Chapter 6, and I'm pretty sure that I have named them revision with more need for focus, or revision with more need for development. So what's going on here for these Donald Murray files is that I've copied some chapters from some textbooks I've used in the past, and these 2 chapters are fantastic because they will guide you through what you need to do if your revision requires more focus in your essay. You don't feel like it's staying on topic, that it's getting off track, that it maybe is kind of gone crazy because you've been adding all this new stuff. So if you feel like you need to focus, choose the one that's called Revision for Focus. If you feel like you need more development, what does development mean from a teacher standpoint? It means you need to say more specifics, more examples, more sources. So if you feel like you're not saying enough, you're not getting the 2 pages of extra content that is required for the assignment, or that there are parts that don't say enough to kind of connect to the other parts, you might choose the file called Revision for Development. And then I definitely want you to read the Shitty First Drafts essay. I would encourage you to have a shitty first draft by, I would say by Wednesday, no later than Thursday, just kind of typing it out and then spending some time revising and making everything fit together and all of that. But I would have the majority of the first draft written and consider it a shitty first draft, because shitty first drafts are necessary, you all. You have to have bad writing, and then you revise to get to that writing that you're proud of, writing that says what you want to say about your topic. So make sure you read these extra things that are in our textbook this week. All right, the workshop for Essay 2, Workshop 2 is this week. I already kind of covered it, but as a reminder, writers are posting the drafts by the end of the day on the 27th. That is Tuesday, and you have all day Wednesday, all day Thursday to post your comments. Remember, you're posting 2 things that you think are strong, 2 things you think need revised. No comments on MLA or grammar. And if you need to look back at the writing patterns or genres for Module 5, just to remind you what they are, you can do that. That's just kind of a review thing if you need to do it. And then there's the video on tropes and scheme that I've posted. And then day 3, pretty straightforward, y'all. You're gonna, most important thing, worth more points than the other assignment, is to submit Essay 2. But once you have Essay 2 submitted, I would love for you to submit the journal for Module 6 that asks you to think about your writing and your revision process. So I do have in that discussion board journal, that journal post, there's an instruction at the end that says if you need more time, to consider the grace period. So that's kind of a thing I've just been talking about the last couple of videos, is to remind you that that grace period is available for you if you need more time. Because we're human beings and people get sick, or people get tired, or people have other exams, or people have to work extra hours and stuff happens, and so use that time if you need it. The last thing I'm going to remind you about, you all, is that the first check-in meeting, I'm going to go into the syllabus just to make sure we all see this. Syllabus is under getting started, y'all. So I'm going to pull up the syllabus, which is down here a little bit, to remind you. Look away if you don't want to watch me scroll through a document, but I'm going to scroll down pretty quickly to the bottom where the plan is. And almost there. Okay, so the deadline for check-in meeting number 1 is Friday, October 7th. So we're getting pretty close to that. We're almost just a little under 2 weeks away from that. And there is, you all, a grace period on that. So it really will be October 14th is the absolute deadline for that. So if you don't get that assignment done by the 7th or the 14th, which is the grace period deadline, you'll have a 0 for that assignment. So be thinking about that. I haven't talked with all of you. Gosh, I'm going to say I've probably met with about 25% of the class on check-in meeting 1, and a couple of people have done check-in meeting 1 and 2 already. So make sure that you are getting that scheduled. Be thinking about that since it's due like within the next 2 weeks. All right, that is it for me, you all. I hope you have a great Module 6. I'm hoping to also have a great Module 6 and kind of be like all me 100%. It's been a bummer being ill and recovering, but you know, we'll all get caught up and things will be great. So have a good week, and I'll talk to you later.